Hi guys, it's Sarah here from Jumping Clay Derby for Derbyshire and Burton. I hope you're all well. I'm joining you on behalf of Derby Live and Superhero Picnic at Home this year. So I've got a story to read and then a little model to show you how to make. So let's go ahead. So the book is called My Mum is a Super Mum. Oh, here she is. Agent Milo's superhero evidence report. She's got a nice smile, ordinary hair, earrings, tissue in her sleeve, cakes, cakes, special skills, giving hugs, doing something busy and important on the computer, making nice dinners, sensible shoes, handbag, contains lipstick, yuck, purse, money for sweets, pen, sticky plaster. Name, Mrs. Milo's mum. Job, being super mum. Milo's mum was like all the other mums. She had ordinary hair, ordinary clothes, and a nice smile. Milo's mum was just like all the other mums. Except she could see through things. Milo was pretty sure she had X-ray vision. On Monday, he was wrestling with a giant monster when Mum shouted from downstairs, "Milo, sit down in the bath." How did she know what he was doing? On Wednesday, he was brewing up spells in a mountain cave to defeat a powerful wizard when Mum yelled from the kitchen, "Milo, don't use my saucepans in the garden." How did she know that he had them? On Friday, he was defending his castle from an enormous fire-breathing dragon when Mum called up from the sitting room, "Milo, don't bounce on the bed." How did she know where he was? It says thump. "It's really weird," Milo said to his friend Lola. "My mum can see what I'm doing when she isn't there. She must have X-ray vision, like a superhero." Wow. "I'll ask my brother," said Lola. "He's always reading superhero comics. He'll know about X-ray vision." But Milo had to find out for himself. "I'll give Mum a test," he thought. On Saturday, when Mum asked him to help bring in the shopping, Milo crept upstairs and hid in the wardrobe. "Milo," called Mum, "where are you going?" Milo smiled to himself. If Mum comes right inside, right up the stairs, right into the bedroom and opens the wardrobe door, then I will know that she has X-ray vision. Milo waited, but Mum didn't come. Oh look, so there's Mum and an old lady. La da 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 da. Ah! So look, the lady's fallen out of the window. Milo waited. Still, Mum didn't come. Maybe she couldn't see through wardrobes. Look. Still, Milo waited. Maybe Mum couldn't see through doors. Look at this, look. She's even got a costume on. "Thank you," says the old lady. "Maybe Mum has forgotten about me," thought Milo. Then suddenly he heard footsteps. Someone came up the stairs. Someone opened the door. "Mum," called Milo, and out he jumped. But it wasn't Mum. Lola offered Milo a gumdrop. "My brother says that mums never have X-ray vision," she said, "and he knows." "He's right," sighed Milo. "I was wrong. I hid, but she couldn't find me. She's not a superhero. She's just an ordinary mum, like all the rest." Then they heard a rustle in the hall. "Let's put this shopping away," said Mum. So Milo and Lola helped Mum, and she thanked them with her nice ordinary smile. "Come on, Lola," said Milo. "Let's make a den now." But just as they made a dash for the door, "Milo!" shouted Mum. "Don't hide that packet of crisps up your jumper." And she's even in the cupboard, look. Milo looked at Mum suspiciously. Then a big grin crept onto his face. "Guess what?" he whispered to Lola. "I think my mum has eyes in the back of her head." And there she is. Agent Milo's superhero evidence report. Bulletproof hair, X-ray vision, supersonic listening devices, radio transmitter, power belt. Look at this. This is from the newspaper. Dramatic rescue. Supermum rescues her neighbour who fell from her bedroom. Rocket boots. Name, Supermum. Job, saving the world. And there you have it. The end. So what do you think? Do you think she's a super mum? Or do you think she's just an ordinary mum? Or maybe an ordinary mum is a super mum. Okay. So what I thought we could do today was make a little superhero, and you could base this on yourself, on someone you love, or even your pet if you wanted to. But I'm going to do it as a little girl today. But obviously you can just change the hair if you want to make it into a little boy. Okay? So I'm going to start off by making the colour for the skin. So what I've got here are lots of different shades you can use to make different skin colours. So that one's quite light and peachy, that's like a beigey colour, and this one's more like a chocolatey brown. So we're going to use the chocolatey brown one for this lovely young lady here. I'm going to pinch and stretch until we mix our clay. So remember, you can do whatever colour you like. You could even have an alien superhero, because a lot of the superheroes are aliens, aren't they? And you could have it green. That'll be funny. So what we do is we pinch and stretch our black and our orange to make our nice browny colour. And keep doing it until we get rid of all of the mixed bits of clay, and so it's all one shade. Okay? And if you want to make it darker, you add a little bit of black. If you want to make it lighter, take a piece off and add it to a bigger bit of white, and then just keep mixing until you get the right colour. But try and do little bits at a time, because otherwise you end up with a lot of the wrong colour if you're not happy with it. Okay, so I'm going to take off a little piece ready for hands, ears and nose, and then the big part I'm going to make into a round ball for the face. So nice and round. And then I'm going to use my super duper Pinocchio tool and give it a squash. So jumping clay is really good for making everything. So I'm going to use, I've got a little smiley face tool that I can use just to press in to make that little smile like that, okay? Our next bit is going to look a bit weird, because I'm going to get a little bit of blue, and what I'm going to do with the blue is I'm going to make a mask. So most superheroes have to change their identity, don't they? And I don't know if you noticed in the story of Milo's mum, she changed, didn't she, into a different costume. So I'm going to make this into a nice round ball and then change it into a sausage and give it a squash. So this is going to go across the face. So the middle bit's just above the middle, that bit there. And then take another bit of my skin colour and make a tiny little ball for the nose. And I'm just going to pop that just slightly on there, okay? So next I'm going to press 2 holes where I'm going to put some eyes. Now I've just done white eyes with pupils, with black pupils, but you can do the different colour eyes if you want. Just need to make it a lot smaller, because when you squash it, it does get bigger and you don't want to get rid of the white bit around the eyes. And I've done them as round balls. You can change them into more like droplet shapes to make them more realistic, but it is a little bit trickier, guys. And to be honest, this style that we're doing is a bit cartoony, so it doesn't really matter if it looks too much like yourself, just an impression of yourself or whichever hero you're going to be copying. So there we have it, 2 little eyes. I'm going to pop a hole in the centre of the whites, ready for the little bit of black for the pupils. There we go. There we go. So I wonder if she's got X-ray vision, this one. Who knows? Use your imagination, eh? Okay, so the next part is the hair. So I'm going to use some black clay. I'm going to have 3 little bits. 1 for the top of the hair. Now this is going to look really weird at first, guys, but it does look good in the end. And what we're going to do, we're going to roll it into a sausage long enough to be able to reach all the way around the top of the head, okay? So a little bit more and then squash. And once we've got our squash sausage, we're going to stick it on the top of the head. So it looks very weird at the minute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her a middle parting. And then just to make it look more like hair that's been pulled into bunches, I'm going to press some lines. It helps it as well to stick on to the head. Can you see? If you can see that very well or not. Okay, so next I'm going to get some more of the brown to do some tiny little balls for the ears. And I'm just going to make them just nice and round and then just stick them on the side. They don't have to look completely accurate, just so you get an idea that there's ears there. Can you see? So next I'm going to get 2 more pieces of the black. I'm going to make them into the bunches. So I'm going to roll them into really nice round balls for the hair. I chose this because I love this hairdo. I think it looks so cute. So nice and round. And I'm going to stick 1 just on the corner and 1 on the other corner of the mask. So look how cute that looks. And what you can do to add a little bit of texture like we did for the top, you can press some little holes in. Just makes it look like it's really tight curls. You don't have to. I just think it looks nice. There you go. It should look pretty. Okay. So I'm going to put the face to one side now because we're going to do the body. So with the body, we're going to start with a bigger bit of blue. And we're going to roll this one into a ball first, as we always do with our jumping clay. And then we're going to change it into a sausage shape. So the shapes that I'm talking about are actually our little mascots, and they're our little heroes. So we've got Billy Ball here, and he's our main shape. We always start with a nice round ball. Then we have his girlfriend, Daisy Drop, and their friend, rascally Silly Sally Sausage, because she turns up all the time. So we're going to make a Silly Sally Sausage shape now. Roll it into a little sausage and give it a squish. So this is going to be the little girl's body. So it's going to look very weird at first, guys. Just bear with me. And then what we're going to do, we're going to do the arms next. So we get 2 pieces of red. Now you can do whatever colours you like. I just thought you do tend to have, like on my Wonder Woman outfit here, you do tend to have primary colours because they're nice and bright, really. And also I thought my little friends, Billy, Daisy and Sally, are the primary colours as well, although Daisy's a little bit lighter. So we're going to make 2 balls and then change those 2 balls into sausages. So these are going to be the arms. Now I'm going to do it so the girl is flying. If there was any superhero power, I would definitely have flying. That would be my favourite. Okay, and then we're going to use this one and just slightly overlap it and have it going in the same direction. So these are actually the arms going across, okay? So next, we're going to do the legs. So as I say, it looks a bit weird at first, but trust me, we will get there. So we need to turn the blue balls into blue Silly Sally sausages, like so. And these are going to be the legs. Okay, I'm just going to do them very slightly longer than the arms, just because part of it's going to be covered with the skirt. Is it all over? Skirt over here. And then I'm going to do it like bent up a little bit like this. So it looks a bit strange at first, but it'll get there. So next, I'm going to get a little bit of red for the shoes, and these shoes are just going to be little round balls. Little sausages. That's better. And then they're just going to be the little feet. So I'm just going to put them a bit longer going downwards, because obviously your feet are longer towards the front, aren't they? Okay. So I don't know if you can tell that that's like her flying across. And the next part we're going to do is going to be the cape. So I'm going to save a little bit of this yellow just for an extra little bit of design in a minute. And then I'm going to make the yellow into a ball, but then I'm going to change it into a daisy drop shape. Like so. You roll it on the side to make that pointy shape, and then give it a big squash with our smooth side of our tool. Okay, so I'm going to pop that at the top. So now it'll all start to come clear, because I'll put the head here, so she's looking to the side while she's flying. And then I'm going to use an extra little bit of skin colour to make the little balls for the hands, like so. So the bit of yellow that we saved, that is for a little headband, like a little bit of jewellery like I'm wearing for my Wonder Woman outfit, on her forehead. There we have it. So you can see she's flying across the sky. I'm going to pop her onto onto a lollipop stick. So it's a good excuse for anyone to have a lollipop, so that you can save it and wash it and use it for your superhero. So I'm going to use a little bit of clay just to stick it onto the back, like so. Now what I would do is I would leave it to dry before you start playing with it, otherwise it will start to flop. But if you leave it to dry, it will go hard like this. Okay? Well, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you've not heard Jumping Clay before, we are based at Markeaton Park, and we are available on Facebook, and it's Jumping Clay Derby for Derbyshire and Burton. So if you want to visit us to see what we're up to, you can order the clay online, and as you can see, you can use useful items from home to make things with. Enjoy your superhero day, and I hope you all know that you're superheroes. Take care. Bye bye.